I think especially at this time of year, it's easy to find reasons to hate studying. I know that I'm feeling the stress with final season upon me, but that's why I think it's also the perfect time to remind myself why I love studying, why I'm constantly grateful for the opportunity to learn and to grow and to expand my knowledge of the world. I remember that you guys loved the last video I made on this topic, so I thought I would come up with 10 more reasons why I love studying, and hopefully this inspires you to find some of your own reasons to love learning. But before we begin, I feel like there is no better sponsor of today's video than the epitome of a place to go for loving learning, and that is Skillshare. I love working with Skillshare because I truly think they're one of the most useful platforms I have ever used. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of really cool classes so that you can inspire your creativity, learn something just for fun. I've personally done so many of the classes. I did one on creative writing, I did Ali Abdal's one on productivity, which really helped me develop my own productivity systems. He also has a really cool one on evidence-based study techniques. And true to my New Year's resolutions, I recently took a cinematography class by Zach Mulligan, and his advice on shot lists and different camera angles actually helped inspire the way that I filmed my casual magic video, this one. The classes are absolutely amazing, and the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description can get 1 month for free. That's the way I first tried Skillshare, was someone's free link. Number 1, studying makes me feel less anxious. I tend to overthink life a lot. Sometimes I get a little bit existential, sometimes I compare myself to people on social media, but something about studying quietens my mind. I'm in my own space, I'm in my own knowledge. It's like I pause this overthinking. It's almost meditative. Of course, sometimes studying's hard, like it's not always peaceful, but generally I find for my brain, it can just be this quiet space that I need to retreat to sometimes. It makes me stop thinking about whatever's going on in my life and immerses me in a new world of thinking. Number 2, I love the challenge. There are so many ways to challenge yourself in life. Like, you can go outside of your comfort zone by going to a big social situation. You can skydive, you can run a marathon and push yourself physically. But the challenge of studying is just totally different. When you have a problem that you don't understand or a concept which is hard, you have to bend your whole brain to try and understand it. It's like this puzzle of you and the resources available to you, like teachers or friends who understand it, and you have to put together all these pieces to make it click for you personally. And that's something that's different for every person, which is so cool. I'm just thinking about how rewarding it feels when you have been struggling your way through something you don't get, and then suddenly something just clicks, like this aha moment. Something I was recently learning in my cognitive science degree is long-term potentiation, which is one way that we expand our memories. It's to do with neuroplasticity, and it's the neural underpinnings of why learning gets easier over time when you review the same concept a lot. But the science part of it is quite hard to understand, and I was grappling with it for a while, and recently it clicked, and I just feel so much happier, like now that I understand it. Yeah, that moment is worth struggling for. Number 3, I love taking what I learn and then applying it to the real world. Something I talk about in my book is I feel like everyone is born with a metaphorical pair of glasses. And every time that you learn something new, you learn a new perspective, it's like you're gaining a lens which you can switch onto your glasses whenever you need. You are gaining a brand new lens of seeing the world through. So just like you can put on a pink lens and suddenly see the world through a rose-tinted lens, or you can see it through a green lens, or you can see it through a blue lens, you can also see things through a mathematical lens, a historical lens, a scientific lens. You can switch them on and off, you can combine them, but ultimately you get to see the same world in very different ways, and that's so inspiring to me. Number 4, learning makes me feel empowered, powerful, and strong. For example, I'm a woman, and I feel like some spaces in the world are just not the most welcoming for women, unfortunately. And to me, learning and knowledge are the things which make me feel like I can't be reduced. I feel my worth emotionally, but I also know my worth cognitively. I know that I am equal to others. I can better understand how different structures might have been designed to exclude me or make me not feel welcome. But knowing that and understanding those structures is like my own act of rebellion. I can challenge them in a meaningful way. I can take up space. And I think this applies applies to any minority group or anywhere where you don't feel comfortable taking up space. Like having knowledge, feeling empowered with knowledge is an opportunity for you to make yourself feel welcome because you're choosing to, using the knowledge that you have. Number 5, my time on this planet is limited and I just want to learn about it as much as possible. I want to learn about whales. Whales are incredible animals, but I also want to be walking through a city and understand a little bit about urban design and architecture and how choices that people have made about how to structure the city affect how I feel walking down the street. I want to learn about different cultures and I want learning about them to challenge how I think about my own culture and the way that I relate to the world, and if there are better ways I think I should be relating to the world. Like all of it, I love it. Number 6, learning is a tool to relate to others. Okay, this is really cool. I recently went for a haircut and my hairdresser is Bulgarian. Recently, I learnt about the Balkan tradition in spring, where on the 1st of March, you get like a little red bracelet and you put it around your wrist, and then depending on the culture you can tie it around a tree when you first see certain migratory birds, or you see the first flower of spring, or whenever you feel like it's spring you can take off this bracelet. And I asked her if she personally practices this, and she was amazed because she said that no one in the UK had ever really asked her about this spring tradition. And I don't blame people, like if you don't know about it, you don't know about it. But suddenly I was able to relate to her in a way that wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't researched this tradition, and it led to a really cool conversation about being an immigrant here and what it's like, and how traditions like that make her feel closer to home even though she now lives in Britain. Another really obvious example is learning languages. Like how cool to be able to open yourself up to more conversations with interesting people around the world. 7, it is a gift to yourself. To me, learning is self-love. It is you choosing to expand your horizons, to expand your knowledge of the world. It's a gift to future you to make yourself feel less stressed when exam season rolls around. And equally, number 8, it's an investment in future you. We rarely study just for the present version of ourselves. We normally study so that we widen our opportunities, so that we can attend the university we really want to attend, to get the job that we really want to get, or even if you don't know what job you want, you're increasing the number of doors which will be open for you. And so when I study, I love thinking that maybe one day when I meet a Bulgarian hairdresser, I'll be able to have a more meaningful conversation. Number 9, it teaches you a lot about yourself. Through all the hard parts of learning discipline, of learning to do subjects that you hate and you're not interested in, like all of that, you are learning about how you struggle through challenges, how you relate to new problems, the things that you actually do enjoy, the things that you don't. You're learning valuable skills of how to motivate yourself to complete things. You're learning how resilient you are. You're learning about your ability to ask for help. All of these things which serve you so much in later life, in your career, or relating to friends or new people. Like studying in school are a microcosm for the world. At least that's the way I see it. So studying is absolutely a tool for growth. And finally, number 10, a reason I love studying is because I have the opportunity to do so. This sounds so basic, but so many people around the world don't have the opportunity to study. Like especially girls and women. So many places in the world that is a right that they are not afforded. And so I think that realization just makes me appreciate it so much more. It makes me appreciate the fact that I can study whatever I want and I can choose how much effort I put in. I can study as, you know, I have that choice, that freedom, that luxury, and it just makes me want to do something with it. It makes me want to learn as much as I can so that I can have a good impact in the world in some way. Just coming back to Skillshare, the fact that things like this exist nowadays where you can go on the internet and you can learn from really incredible people and take classes in literally whatever you want to. Like, that's so cool. How lucky are we to live in this day and age and you have access to the internet if you're watching this. Like, that is amazing and you can just learn so much about the world. Oh my gosh, if you made it to this point, then I hope you feel a bit more motivated to go back to studying with fresh eyes, with a bit more gratitude. And if you made it to this point, I really encourage you to think of 3 reasons why you love studying. I did this on the other video I made and we just flooded the comments with so much inspiration for why people love the process of learning. And I know that even before making this video, I went back and just read through them just to remember, like, this whole school university thing that I'm doing is absolutely worth it. There are so many good reasons why this is a fun thing. So what are 3 reasons you love studying? Okay, just before I go, my casual magic for the day is I put makeup on today. I don't often do that, like a full makeup thing, but I put highlighter on my nose, and sometimes I just look at myself in the viewfinder and I'm like, just look so shiny. And yeah, I don't know, to me that's just casual magic right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'm sending you all the love. Bye.